Um, I work, for the last 16 years, I've worked as a graphic designer in a funeral parlour for Tobin Brothers, and doing the booklets and things for funerals, all the printed material. And so over the years, many a poem has come across my desk, and there's one poem that I have printed in books thousands upon thousands of times over the years. You may have heard it in a funeral you've been to. It's called God's Garden, and it bugs me. I don't like it at all. I'm going to read you the first stanza and just try and guess which line annoys me. It says, God looked around his garden and found an empty place. He then looked down upon the earth and saw your tired face. He put his arms around you and lifted you to rest. God's garden must be beautiful. He always takes the best. And I've always thought about that, the idea that heaven or God's kingdom or God's community is beautiful because God picks the beautiful. God picks the best. God picks the good to make his kingdom good. And if that's what you've thought before, I want to tell you that that's not Christianity. That's not the good news. That's not the gospel message that Jesus taught. And so I've written my own version of the poem. I'm yet to present it to work. I don't think they'll take it. I call it God's Garden Isn't Beautiful. God's garden isn't beautiful by standards we assume. It wouldn't win a competition for the biggest bloom. Botanical appreciation clubs won't be impressed because despite what you have heard, he doesn't take the best. His garden's full of broken stems, of leaves all dry and brown, of thirsty flowers wilting and so weak they face the ground. There's orchard trees that fail to thrive and barely bear much fruit. There's shrubs that never flower, and there's plants with shallow root. There's herbs that were neglected. There's ferns that were forgot. There's buds with no more petals after loves me not. There's saplings, some so tiny they appear as just a seed, and thorns so wild and ugly they are seen as just a weed. But not by God. He came in Christ to seek and save the lost. And for the weak and broken, he died upon the cross. To offer living water to all those who know they thirst. He does not take the best. In fact, he'll take the very worst. For everyone's invited to God's garden paradise. For at the empty tomb, you'll find the gardener is Christ. And once you're in God's garden, he'll redeem your broken stem. He'll pour resurrection life in you so you'll bear fruit again. And those petals that said, love me not, their bloom he will restore. And you'll know he loves me. He loves me. He loves me. He loves me evermore. God's garden is quite beautiful, though the plants are weak and odd. For the beauty of the light they bathe in is the grace and love of God.